my beautiful friends. I hope you all are doing well today. So I just wanted to come on here and just kind of chat with you guys a little bit. As you can tell, we are kind of in a parking lot right now. I had to stop by Target because I needed to get a couple of little things, most specifically underwear and socks. That's what I went in there for, and cat food. I had to get more wet food for the cats. So I bought all that stuff, which was stuff that we needed. And now the plan is to kind of just hang out for the rest of the day. I don't really have anything else going on today, per se. But yeah, I wanted to just come on here and just chat with you guys a little bit. We are wearing the Pokemon shirt today. A Pokemon shirt. And then I have my little necklace on and my jewelry pieces that I normally wear. So, yeah. I had my therapy appointment today for marriage stuff, couples therapy, and that went actually really well. I was able to process some things, and it was really good. And one of the things that I actually realized is just how much I have spent a lot of my life basically molding myself to make other people comfortable. I have allowed other people's opinions of me to mold my inner voice. And that doesn't matter if those people were family, friends, random people on the street. It doesn't matter. I have allowed other people to dictate, in a sense, how I view myself. Which is not a healthy way of thinking, and I am realizing now that undoing a lot of that takes time. But I have made a commitment to myself to not allow any more people to dictate my own self-worth and my own ways of being. And at the end of the day, the way that other people view me is not my problem. I cannot make everybody understand who I am. I cannot make everybody accept who I am. And it's not really my place to even try to make other people understand me. Because at the end of the day, I have to live in a world where I have to be okay with myself. I have to be okay with who I am as a person. And if I'm spending all of my energy trying to make other people feel good, then I am not really taking care of me. And that is an issue. If we're putting all of our energy into how other people view ourselves, how other people view us, then we are not really focusing on how we view ourselves. And at the end of the day, there's nobody else that can allow you to feel, can make you feel in a certain way unless you allow it to. And I know that my brain specifically has a tendency to kind of self-sabotage, has a tendency to basically view everything that I do as bad, a problem, or something negative, or whatever. It doesn't matter if the situation or the scenario has anything to do with me specifically. I put it all on myself. And the idea that we are our own worst enemy is really a matter of truth, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, nobody else around me has said anything that has been worse than the things that I have told myself. Granted, a lot of those things were things that were at some point in time told to me by family, by people around me, but I really can't change how people view me. And you cannot be good enough in a relationship. You cannot really be good enough for the other person if you're not good enough for yourself. And you cannot be in a relationship where you are looking for the other person to love you even if you don't love yourself. Because at the end of the day, I think the thing I'm realizing is that we are all responsible for our own love. We all have to love ourselves first. And we all have to prioritize our well-being and our mental health and our physical health and who we are as people individually before we can prioritize how we interact with everybody else. Whether that is our partner, whether that is our colleagues, whether that is friends, whether that's kids, whether that's whoever. If we don't first prioritize ourselves, we cannot prioritize those around us. If we are depleted and we are burnt out and we're exhausted and we're emotional and we're doing all of that, then we really have nothing left to give. And at the end of the day, doing things for yourself, taking the time to care for yourself, whether that means going to therapy, whether that means journaling, whether that means anything that means to you, whatever self-care looks like, you first have to care for yourself before you can care for anybody else. And I think a lot of the times in my life especially, I have oftentimes placed more importance on other people than I have on myself. So by the time that I get around to caring for myself, I am depleted, I'm exhausted, I'm having a meltdown, I'm self-sabotaging because I feel like I've not done good enough. I'm allowing how other people see what I've done, and I'm taking any and all feedback as being negative, even if it's not. And then I'm reactive, and it's just not a good place to be. And it's hard. It really, really is, because if you have trauma, if you have a lot of trauma like I do, you have learned to be in survival mode. I have learned to be in survival mode. I have learned that in order to keep the peace, in order to avoid anything bad happening, I had to constantly be hypervigilant, constantly be on edge, constantly monitor how I talked, how I acted, how my body was in terms of how I seemed, my facial expressions, my tone, everything. I had to monitor all of that. And it's exhausting. And those things don't come naturally to me. Because I can't always tell how I come off to other people. My tone, oftentimes, I don't know how my tone sounds unless I'm actively focusing really, 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 really hard on trying. I can't pick it up. I don't know if I'm monotone. I don't know if I'm not. I don't know if I'm being too soft or too loud or whatever. And my body language, same thing. My body language gets misinterpreted all the time. All the time. Everybody thinks something's wrong. Something must be wrong because I'm standing in a certain way, or I have my arms in a certain way, or my tone sounds in a certain way. And it gets so misinterpreted when I'm literally just I'm just me. I'm just standing here. I don't know what you want from me. I don't know what you're reading into. Because I don't know what... I feel like I don't always know where in space I am in that sense. So oftentimes, I don't know, no, you guys would never have seen this. When I'm walking around, when I'm doing anything, I do the T-Rex hands like this. I tend to walk around like this, or I'm holding something that's close to my body, which is why I like to have like a thing to hold on to, or I'm like playing with my necklace. When I'm sleeping, I kind of sleep curled up on a ball, hugging a pillow, something. I'm hugging it like this so that my arms are close to my body. So it's like, it's one of those things that's like, I have a hard time. I feel like it's why I sleep with a weighted blanket as well, for the same sort of reason, because otherwise I feel like I'm floating, but I feel like I'm floating in a way where I don't know what's what sometimes. And it's hard. I don't like touch. I like firm touch. Like, if someone were to brush up against me, I get very weirded out by it. Hugs, I like bear hugs. I like that kind of thing. I don't like, I don't know. It's weird in a sense, and I think oftentimes who I am as a person is hard to put into words, because I don't know if you guys can see it on here or if it comes off on here, but I do struggle a lot with my self-esteem, my self-worth, who I am as a person. I mean, I have a lot of like self-help books, and I'm going to therapy to be able to work through some of those things, but I do struggle, and I'm realizing that a part of the thing is, for so long I didn't feel like I had a community. I didn't feel like I had people in my life that genuinely understood me, that generally wanted to be there and wanted to be a part of things, and it's been hard. But now I'm getting to a point where I'm finding community, I'm finding people, and so my need for other external stimuluses are not as high. Like, I don't need to be buying things. I don't need to be spending on stuffies and fidgets and all of that, because let's be honest, I wasn't really using them in the way that they're meant to be used. Like, I have my fidgets, I have my things that I use and that are necessary, and I like stuffies to a certain extent, but they're not something that's like a must-have. Like, I don't need the big ones. Something like this is enough, usually, for the most part. So, yeah. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm probably going to do a part 2 to this a little bit later on. I have to make a phone call, so I'm going to go do that real quick, and then I will talk to you guys again for part 2 of this probably later on. So anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in part 2. As always, remember, if you're going through it, you'll get through it, and remember who you are. Love you guys. Bye.